What's up, Bulldogs? All right, today I'm going to show you how to generate some passive income, just a few different ways here. There's a lot of ways to generate passive income. I think a lot of people often are confused about this and can't figure out any ways, but I can tell you there is many more ways than you would even imagine that are available for you to generate passive income. So we're going to kind of go over some of these today. We're not going to go into depth on these. If you want more information on that, you can find that in the Bulldog membership area. I'll have information on exactly how to do some of these things and some more in-depth information. But let's go ahead and look at this because there's quite a few things that you can do. So the first thing I would say, though, before we get into this about passive income, is you have to understand that no income is truly passive, or rather the degree of passivity is on a scale, right? And typically there's a trade-off and there's different trade-offs. So we can get some degree of passivity, but it's gonna cost us some degree of the return on our investment. We always have to invest money to make money, or invest time, which time can be translated to money. So you just have to understand that. And really, there's very few things that are truly passive. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is a blog. Okay, now a lot of people say, okay, well, blogging is dead. And, I understand the sentiment of that, but I have two successful blogs. I'm a simple programmer. My main blog generates over 250,000 page views a month. It's not dead, okay? Now, it takes a while to get traction on this, so this might not be something that you're going to immediately see benefits, but it doesn't even just have to be a blog. It could also be a niche site, too. And, this was popular. Pat Flynn made this popular for a while, and they still work. The niche sites still work, right? So how do you make money from a blog or niche site, basically having a website out there? Well, you got to get some traffic to it, which involves doing some SEO. But once you get some traffic to it, there's some really cool things that you can do. And it depends on how much money you want to make. But, obviously you can run ads. Okay, so you can use Google AdSense. Amazon has an ad network as well. You can get sponsors if you want, or go sign up for an ad network, and you can make some money from this, right? If you have a decent size amount of traffic, maybe you can even make, like even $5 a day is not bad, right? I mean, that's, another $150 a month that you don't have to do anything for. I remember when my blog first started, I was making some money with ads. Okay, and I know some people that have created sites like little tools like calendar program to schedule things, or one of them was like some kind of a quiz, and they're getting a ton of page views per day on it, like around 10 to 20,000, and they're running ads, and they're getting about $5,000 to $10,000 a month of passive income from that. So probably won't last forever. You probably have to do some work to upkeep this, but it can give you passive income for some period of time. You can do the Amazon affiliate program. Is a good way to make some money. You just recommend products. You have links in there. I do this on all my blogs, where I have articles that have links in there. Okay, and then the final thing you can do is you can sell. You can create a simple product, maybe just a $5 ebook. Especially if you've got a niche site, right? Something that solves a problem, maybe for an article that people are coming to on your blog that's really popular, and you just sell like a $5 downloadable product. You could do something more. You could do a course, $50 course, $100 course. But if you really want this to be sort of passive, this is something that you wouldn't have to set up email automation, all this stuff. You could just people will just buy a $5 course or a $5 book or something like that. And we're not talking about a huge amount of money, but this is a good place to start. It gets you some passive income. So let's take a look at the next one here. Okay, so the next one here would be YouTube, of course. And YouTube is interesting. It's still growing. There's still a lot of opportunity in YouTube. You could sort of group Instagram in here, but I like YouTube better because it's more searchable. So if you wanted to do this, like, YouTubers can make money off of ads, of course, right? Just like we talked about before. They can make money off of Amazon. Again, you can do the affiliate thing, right? And you can make money off of selling a simple product, just like we talked about. Same principle as the blog, right? Same similar type of thing here. But with YouTube, it's a little bit harder to sell directly, I think, from YouTube. And, it takes some time. It takes a lot of work to build up a channel and to get traction on it. But once you have traction on it and you're getting a consistent amount of views on the channel, it's pretty good, right? You can definitely generate passive income from that. With my channel, if I just look at the ad revenue, I would say that it's probably around, $1,000 to $1,500 a month of, pretty much passive income. Even if I didn't create new videos, those existing videos that get most of the views would generate that money. And you can always do affiliate products and sell them on their sponsorship deals. Again, not talking about a huge amount of money. If you really want to make a business out of like the blog and YouTube, you've got to have like a real product. You've got to have email lists. You've got to do some of that stuff, and you can do that. But we're just talking about some quick ways to make a little bit of extra passive income. So if you start up a YouTube channel, you start posting, you start up a blog, you're going to have an opportunity to make some money. It might not be a huge amount, but it'll be some passive income here. So this one is kind of an interesting one. Okay, websites hosting. Okay, so the way that this works is, you create a site for someone. Okay, like you go and you find a local business or something, you create this site, and you can use, Bluehost, you can use Wix, various tools to do this. Okay, and a lot of them have white label deals, and you basically charge them money on a monthly basis, right? Your monthly fee. Okay, and then you pay for the hosting. Okay, but there's a difference here between what you're charging and what you're paying. Okay, so what ends up happening is that you collect that difference, right? So let's say I create a site for a local restaurant. Okay, and I can even hire a designer to create the site. I don't have to have those skills myself. Okay, but what I'm doing is I'm setting up the deal. Okay, and so if I set up this deal and they say, okay, well, we would pay you $200 a month to basically maintain and host our site. Now you might have to do some extra work. There might be stuff, but most of the time when you get this set up, there's not going to be a lot left to do, and you could kind of define the scope of this. So they're paying you $200 a month, and then let's say that for their simple site for your hosting, you're only paying like $15 a month. Okay, now this is kind of an ideal scenario, but there's variations of this. So in that case, you're making what is it, $185 profit per month on this, and it's basically passive income, right? $185 goes into your pocket. Now, you might have to adjust this number, right? Maybe you pay more for hosting, or maybe you can only charge like $50, but still, right? Maybe they pay you to initially set up the site, and then they pay you to continue to host this site and to keep it up and running. And under the covers, you're using something like Bluehost or a WP Engine or something like that to host the site. So this is a good model. I've seen a lot of people do this. It takes some work to go and find those companies, but there's plenty of companies that do not have sites, or they don't have good sites. Especially if you're good at doing this, you can really help them to get on the web, and they'll continue to pay you over time to keep their site up. Another one we've got here is apps. Okay, so this is a little bit more difficult, okay, and maybe not quite so profitable, but some people have been able to do well with this. So, you can do an iOS app, an Android app, okay. More of the money is made on the iOS store because more people are willing to pay for the apps. So OI. Whatever. Okay, so anyway, that's something that I did in the past. I've created apps. I still have apps in the App Store that generate a small amount of money, but I've generated a lot of passive income over time from creating apps. And if you're a developer, you can create these apps yourself. If not, you can hire people on sites like Upwork to help you to build the app. You put it in the App Store, and you basically just get paid, right? And this is real simple, real hands-off once you've created the app. And you can get passive income for a while from this. Again, it's not going to last forever, but it is a good way, right? And if you really are serious about this, you can create a lot of apps. If you created 50 apps and put them in the App Store, right? And let's say that every single one of those apps generated you, even just like, let's be very conservative and say that you're only getting like $20 a month from this. Well, that's going to be still $400 a month of passive income. Yeah, that's a lot of work, and it's going to be, you're going to make more than that on some of the apps, and your number's probably going to be higher. But hey, if you had nothing better to do and you just said, okay, every week I'm going to go through the process of creating an app, and you kept the budget pretty low, especially if you've got some you're just creating very simple apps, you could do this, and you could make this kind of money, and you could do a lot better. I'm sure. I know people that have created 50 apps, and they're more like $4,000 a month or more. Some of them are like more like $10,000 a month because a few apps take off and do really well. So that's another option there. The next one here is similar. It's to create a book, okay, or a series of books, right? And I'm kind of giving you the things that all of these things scale, by the way, right? So I'm giving you the idea, and you can do this multiple times if you figure out a system for making this work, and you can make a lot of money. But let's say you create a Kindle book. There's the KDP program, okay? I make some good money on some of my books, and I can sell them for 99 cents. I've got, How to Stop Being Lazy book, if you've seen that, which I had someone help me write. I didn't even really write that myself. They took a lot of the information from my YouTube videos and edited it and wrote it, essentially ghost wrote it for me. The other two books that I sold, I wrote myself, and they're more expensive and whatnot. But I'm talking about simple. I'm talking about 10, 15,000, 20,000 word books. Anyone can create these on a variety of topics. So just pick a topic out there. There's some tools actually that let you do that. And you can just write a book, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 words, real simple book, sell it for 99 cents. Okay. Doesn't seem like a lot, but you know what? You sell one of those books per day, you're going to make some extra income there. And if you create the audio version, and that's where I really make the most of my money on books is audio version, and you put it on Audible, you can make some extra money as well. So, and you can repeat this, right? You can make, let's say that you made 50 books, like I was saying with the apps, okay? And, maybe each book is only making, again, maybe $20 a month, but you're going to have some books that are going to make like 200 bucks a month or 1,000 bucks a month, or, hopefully you even get one that's more profitable than that. And on average, you're going to make a pretty decent amount of money. Again, this is, passive income. So it's more valuable than regular income. If this revenue stream continues for a long, long time, there's some value in that right now with the book thing. If you have an audience, right, if you have a blog, if you have YouTube, like a lot of these things are synergistic, right, then it's going to work better, right? Because when I have 70,000 people to email and I can say, hey, my new book came out, I'm going to get a lot more sales, right? And then Amazon will handle recommending it to new people, and once you've got the traction on there. So it's not going to be a huge amount of money, but if you put enough work into it in time, you can actually develop a business doing this. I know people that create books every single week, and they make a lot of money, over $10,000 to $20,000 a month in passive income. Okay, this is a big one. All right, this one you've heard me talk about before: real estate. Okay, real estate is really a big deal. It's a simple way to make passive income. Simple meaning that it's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of risk involved. You buy a house, okay? You rent that house out, and you get money. So there's lots of ways to do this. You could use leverage, or you don't have to use leverage. Let's say that you had $100,000. Let's say you can basically convert money into income, right? So if you have $100,000, you could put it into this house. Okay, you could buy a house for $100,000. There's places where you can do that. Maybe you need more, whatever, and you might be able to get, cap rate might be 7%, so you might be able to get 7% return on your money. So that means $7,000 a year. Okay, that's passive income. All right. Now you're also getting appreciation. You're getting tax benefits. There's a lot of things. You can check out some of my videos, but you can also put down a smaller amount, like maybe $20,000 into this house. Okay, and maybe you're not going to get as much cash flow, but you're still making passive income because you're paying down the mortgage. You're getting maybe a little bit of income from that in addition, and you're getting depreciation on the property. So, it might not look like passive income right in your hand. You can have that, and it might not be the highest return to some of the business things. Eventually I take all my money that I make from all of my revenue streams and I put it into here, because this is like the long-term, truly passive income. It's not going to fade over time. It's going to keep on going up, and I'm going to keep on making more money in property. So this is something, again, it is a way to make passive income. A lot of guys I coach, when I tell them, what do you do with your money? Well, put it into something, and real estate is what I usually tell them to put it into, so they can start developing passive income over time, right? I get about $10,000 to $12,000 a month right now from real estate is. There's another thing that we can do with real estate, which is the crowdfunding. Okay, so there's these sites. we'll put crowd here, and they basically allow multiple people to buy this house, okay, or this property. So you've got a bunch of people that are investors, and they're each contributing maybe $10,000 or so, okay, and all these people are investing in these deals, and there might be big deals, right? And you can go to sites. There's a lot of sites out there now. Realty Mogul, crowdfunding sites. Roofstock, I think, is one of them. There's a bunch of them. Some of them require you to be an accredited investor, so it might not be an option for you. But a lot of them don't, and you can just invest a small amount of money and still get the benefits of real estate and get the passive income from that. Very similar concept to that is that of microloans. There's a bunch of companies that do these microloans now, where basically you are one of the people lending money, and you can get returns. Some of them are like 8% returns on your money, which is pretty good. Okay, and you're getting that money with very little risk. There's, depending on how aggressive the return is, will determine what the risk factor is. Okay, and you can make some money on this, and this is a good way to make some passive income on some money that you already have. Okay, so again, the real estate, the microloans, the crowdfunding, this is all sort of things that you can do with money that you already have to make income on that. You don't want to have money just sitting in your bank account. Another one that you can do, you can be the deal maker. There's a lot here. Okay, we're going to just unpack a little bit of this, but if you put together deals, you can charge a commission on those deals, and it can be recurring. So let me give you a couple examples here. Let's say that you came to me and you said, hey, John, I've got a sponsor for your YouTube channel. I talked to them, and they're going to pay you $3,000 a month, okay, for the sponsorship. And I will get it all set up for you and get them on board. But all that I ask is 10% of that sponsorship revenue. So will you give me $300 a month? Will you give me 10% of whatever they, for making this introduction, for making this deal happen? Now, me being busy, I'm going to say, sure, yeah, sure. If I've got the inventory, sure, why not? So you're the deal maker. So you're going to, in perpetuity, get some money, right? 10% of this deal, maybe even more. Maybe you could charge 20%, right? Depends on what someone's willing to pay. If you're just bringing them money, a lot of times they'll pay a portion of that. Another way to do this, if you go and you do some kind of licensing. So suppose you know someone who has a product, physical or digital product, and you know someone who has an audience. What if you connect the two of them together and say, hey, look, for your product, I'm going to find you people that will sell it for you, that or will license the product from you, and all I request is 10% of what you make in that deal, right? I'm the guy that's go out and find these deals. I know these people. I'll make the communications, and I'll get this 10%. And most people are going to say yes if you're going to make them money, right? So, and there's a lot of ways to apply this, guys. Again, I don't have the time to go into all the details here, but think about how you can set up deals for recurring revenue streams. And if you're the guy who sets up the deal and you're making money for two parties or one party, they're going to be willing to pay you a percentage or a commission on that. And you can work both ends of the deal, right? You could be on the sponsorship side, like you could talk to sponsors and say, hey, I will find you places to put your money that are good for your brand if you'll give me 5% of whatever you spend on them. And you could go to the other side and say, I'll find you sponsors if you give me 10%. You could be making 15% like that as well. So, okay, I got one more last one here. Let's look at courses. Okay, this is how I make a lot of passive income. You might have heard of a company called Pluralsight. I've got 55 online courses there for developers, where I have all kinds of training that I give on all kinds of technologies. Now, I started doing this about almost 10 years ago, and I make a lot of passive income from this. Now, some of it is being in the right place at the right time, and the amount of courses that I've created, 55 is a lot. Okay, but there's still opportunities. There's opportunities with Pluralsight. Okay, there's, LinkedIn has their Lynda, right? The lynda.com it was. Okay, they bought that. I know some people that are doing that. There's Udemy, right? Is it Udemy? I think that's there's a lot of other platforms out there, and there's smaller platforms where you could create content and get royalties on that. And this is not just courses, but anything that you create. I mean, you could create blog posts for people, really in-depth guides. You could create ebooks for other people that have blogs and ask for a royalty on it, right? So this is basically the idea that you create this product. you give the licensing to someone else, and then you charge a royalty on that, or there's a prearranged royalty where you're going to make money whenever anyone makes a purchase or downloads or watches your content. So, I've got a couple of licensing deals. I've got actually licensing deals on my books, right? So, one of my books, there's a corporate company that pays a license to be able to use that book and to have that as part of their library. And whenever people read the book or download it, I get paid a royalty on that. Of course, Pluralsight courses, like I said, lynda.com, Udemy, all kinds of ways to do this. All right, guys. So hopefully you found this useful. These are just some ways that you can make some passive income. There's a ton of ways to make passive income. You just got to be thinking outside the box. And I'm definitely happy to share with you more details and things like that. Just stay tuned. Keep checking your email. I'm going to give you some resources that I'm gonna have for you. The Bulldog membership members area that is going to have like more in-depth information on this. All right, guys, take care.